So there's a lot of talk about Donald John Trump supposedly running again in 2024 for the presidency. And so I wanted to talk about something. So in 1912, there were two presidents actually who were trying to both get reelected, and then obviously neither of them won. So what happened was there was President Taft, the sitting president, and former President Roosevelt, who were trying to run. Now, some history behind that. Former President Roosevelt um, had been president from 1901 to 1909. So in the election of 1900, President McKinley had to select a new vice president because his previous vice president had had an unfortunate fatal heart attack, and so President McKinley selected Theodore Roosevelt as the replacement, and so the McKinley Roosevelt ticket won the election of 1900, and in 1901, McKinley was re inaugurated as the president, and Theodore Roosevelt became the vice president. Now, unfortunately, President McKinley also passed away quite suddenly because he was assassinated by an anarchist in 1901. So within a few months of becoming vice president, Theodore Roosevelt had to suddenly become the president. And so he served out the rest of McKinley's term, 1901 to 1905, and then he won the election in 1904. So Theodore Roosevelt won the election in 1904, and then so he had his new term, 1905 to 1909. So he was there from 1901 to 1909, 8 years as president, Theodore Roosevelt. That's TR. Now, the next president, William Howard Taft, had won the election in 1908, so he was president from 1909 to 1913. Now, in the election of 1912, as I said before, President Taft, the sitting president, was running for re-election. Did not get it, obviously, but President Taft was running for re-election, and former President Theodore Roosevelt was also running for re-election. And then there was a struggle on that side and a few candidates, and Secretary Wilson ended up winning the election. So that's what happened. And then obviously President Wilson was president from 1913 to 1921. So that was a scenario where a sitting president and a former president were running for the election. Now, to go back a little further, there has been one president who served two non-consecutive terms. Grover Cleveland is that president. Grover Cleveland was elected in 1884. So his first term was from 1885 to 1889. And then his second term was from 1893 to 1897. So, Cleveland, as I said, first elected in 1884, term was from 1885 to 1889. He ran in the election of 1888 against Benjamin Harrison. And despite the fact that President Cleveland had won the popular vote, President Cleveland also lost the Electoral College. Benjamin Harrison won the Electoral College despite losing the popular vote. And so Benjamin Harrison became the president. So Harrison won the 1888 election. So Harrison was president from 1889 to 1893. But in 1892, former President Cleveland came back for a rematch, and former President Cleveland beat President Harrison. And so former President Cleveland was elected to his second term, non-consecutive. And so his second term, as I said many times, 1893 to 1897. So President Cleveland, the only president to serve two non-consecutive terms, 1885 to 1889, and then 1893 to 1897. So there we have it. That is what happened with President Cleveland.